I'm here.
Councilman Greenie.
Here.
Councilman Dunn.
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Here.
Councilwoman Miller.
Present.
Councilman Muscarella. Councilwoman Ryder.
Here.
Okay, I'm now going to ask Councilman Green to release the pledge of allegiance.
Please stand, place your hand over your heart, and repeat after me. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, I think the town attorney wanted to bring one here to our attention.
Yes, Mr. Supervisors, members of the town board, based upon my discussions with our outside counsel and attorneys for the property owners, it is my request that the hearing today scheduled regarding the Capri Hotel be adjourned for a hearing date of January 30th, 2020.
What item number is that?
It's item number 29. 28, I apologize, Supervisor.
So item 28 is going to be adjourned until January
30th.
30th, 2024 at 10:30 a.m. Is that correct?
Actually, it will be in the evening that day.
PM meeting. See, it was a trick question I got today. All right. Thank you very much. So with that, then, can I please have a motion to item number 28 to adjourn until January 30th, 2024, 7 p.m.?
Make motion to adjourn item number 28, January 30th, 2024.
Second.
I think Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Yep.
Supervisor Clavin.
Aye.
Councilman Greenie.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
And I know we made that motion. There were a number of residents who came down for that hearing. We wanted to advise you early. I know they tried to get that on social media. We're grateful for that. But the Capri Motor in hearing has been adjourned until January 30th. Thank you, Madam Clerk. I will ask you now to call item number 1.
Yes, the first public hearing is a proposed local law regarding regulations and restrictions to limit parking in Franklin Square, Point Lookout, Uniondale, Wantagh, and West Hempstead.
Okay, any member of the board wish regarding this? Okay, I do have a slip for this. James Jacob? Morning, Mr. Jacob. Just give your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Good morning, Supervisor Clayton, Deputy Supervisor, and other people on the board. James B. Jacob, the Asheville, Uniondale. The reason I'm asking for number clarification of location of Uniondale, on number 1, number 2, and number 7 for location.
Okay, we'll give you a number 1 right now.
I know you're number 1, sir, but I'm just letting you know I'm asking about the location.
Yeah, no, okay. So, Mr. Reed, if you identify yourself.
Tom Reed, representing Traffic Control Division. In item number 1, the location we have for Uniondale is Jerusalem Avenue at Hawthorne Avenue. We're implementing a no stopping here corner at the location to help sight distance coming out of Hawthorne onto Jerusalem Avenue.
Is that on the north side or on the south side? But we don't have one east or west, that's why I asked the question.
I can look into that, but I believe the stop sign at that location would be Nassau County.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Steve. I don't have any other slips. Anybody else wish to be heard? Item number 1? If not, may I please have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second.
Supervisor Clavin.
Aye.
Councilman Greenie.
Yeah.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
I just want the record to reflect. I know Councilman Greeny's here. I know. Did you mean aye on that? Or?
I meant aye.
I did. Madam Clerk, please call item number 2.
We have a proposed local law regarding parking or standing prohibitions in Baldwin, East Meadow, near Freeport, Point Lookout, Seaford, Uniondale, Wantagh, and Woodmere.
Okay, any member of the board wish to be heard? Again, Mr. Jacobs, I see you up there. If you give your name and address, that's okay. Mr. Reed?
Back again.
James B. Jacob, at the same question before location, please.
Gotcha.
Yes, this location in Uniondale is part of the item in the first request that we have to modify the existing 1-hour parking there to 50, no stopping here at the corner in. at this location.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay. You let me know the north and south side is,
You'll follow up on that, please? Okay, thank you. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks, Jacob. I don't have any other slips on item number 2. Anybody else? If not, I please have a motion.
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton?
Aye.
Councilman Carrini?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby? Aye. Councilwoman Miller? Aye. Councilman Muscarella?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed local law regarding arterial stops in Baldwin, Elmont, Franklin Square, Hewlett, Merrick, Point Lookout, and Montauk.
Okay, and member of the board wish to be heard? I don't have any slips on item number 3. Anybody else wish to be heard that did not sign in? If not, I please have a motion.
I move that the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton?
Aye.
Councilman Carrini?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby? Aye. Councilwoman Miller? Aye. Councilman Muscarella?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed local law regarding traffic regulations in the vicinity of schools in East Meadow.
Okay, any member of the board wish to be heard? I do not have any slips on item number 4. Anybody who wants to be heard on item number 4 did not sign in? If not, I please have a motion.
I move the public hearing be closed and the board approve the item. Second.
Supervisor Clayton? Councilman Carrini?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby? Councilwoman Miller? Councilman Muscarella?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed local law regarding U-turns prohibited in Roosevelt.
Any member of the board wish to be heard? I do not have any slips. Anybody wish to be heard that did not sign in for item number 5? If not, may I please have a motion?
Move the proposed local law concerning Roosevelt.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton?
Aye.
Councilman Carrini? Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby? Councilwoman Miller? Councilman Muscarella?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed local law regarding bus stops in Baldwin.
Okay, any member of the board wish to be heard? I don't have any slips on item number, is anybody else not, that someone wants to be heard at this one? If not, I please have a motion.
I move that the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Supervisor Clayton?
Aye.
Councilman Carrini?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby? Councilwoman Miller? Councilman Muscarella?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed handicap parking on public streets near Cedarhurst, East Atlantic Beach, East Meadow, Elmont, Merrick, North Belmore, Oceanside, Roosevelt, Uniondale, and near Westbury.
Thank you. Okay, any member of the board wish to be heard? I do have a slip in this, Mr. Jacobs.
Morning again, Jacob. Evendale. Same question before location. Clarification, please.
The location in Unionville is for the resident on Walnut Street, who requests a handicap parking from the offer.
So this is a private house then?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Jacobs. Anybody that slips in item number 7, anybody else? If not, I please have a motion.
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
I second the motion.
Supervisor Clayton?
Aye.
Councilman Carrini?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby? Councilwoman Miller? Councilman Muscarella?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Aye.
And Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have the companion items numbers 8 and 9. The resolution adopting a secret negative declaration and determination of non-significance in connection with the proposed enactment of Section 322.1 of Article 31 of the Building Zone Ordinance in relation to adult changing stations. And number 9, public hearing is on the proposed enactment of Section 322.1 of Article 31 of the Building Zone Ordinance in relation to adult changing stations.
Okay, any member of the board wish to be heard? Okay, I don't have any slips on items 8 or 9. Anybody in the public outside wishes to be heard? If not, I please have a motion.
I move the secret negative declaration be approved.
Second.
Okay, this is a vote on item number 8.
Aye. Would it be separate vote on?
Yes.
Okay.
Supervisor Clayton?
Aye.
Councilman Carrini?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby? Councilwoman Miller. Aye. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
And then I have a motion on number 9.
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Supervisor Clayton. Councilman Creedy.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Lucy. Councilwoman Miller. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
And I do want to congratulate Councilwoman Miller on that legislation. She was an advocate for it in Albany. She brought common sense down here. And it's nice to know that after apparently somebody read the story up in Albany, they're finally going to make a move on this statewide. So good work for you, advocacy. You started here. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Yes, item number.
Sorry, hold on.
I did attend the meeting in Albany, and some of the people who the deputies I worked with were very, very happy, and they wanted me to tell you congratulations.
Well done. Nice job. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Yes, public hearing number 10 is to review the recommendation of the Town of Hempstead Landmarks Preservation Commission that the Jackson House 3 structure located at 1904 Jones Avenue North in Wantagh be designated a historical landmark.
Good morning. Identify yourself and name and address. That'd be great.
Yeah, okay. My name's Tom Watson. I live at 1904 Jones Avenue in Wantagh. I own the house in question. I just wanted to say very briefly, I call it the Thomas Jackson House, not Jackson 3. So Thomas Jackson inherited a 100-acre farm from his father Samuel in 1780, and the house is the only thing that remains from that 100-acre farm. The farm was in the location of part of downtown Wantagh, part of where Wantagh Parkway is, and part of Twin Lakes. That was sort of the area where the 100 acres were. And Thomas Jackson, he's buried in the historic Jackson Cemetery on Wantagh Avenue with his wife Elizabeth, and there's a DRA plaque on his grave site honoring the service in the Revolutionary War. So that's all I'll say about it. I could go on and on.
That's very kind. No, we appreciate your advocacy. Like I said, we'll see if there's any comments, but we appreciate you, your passion on this as well. So thank you. Any member of the board wish to be heard on this?
Great job, Tom, again on this. I know you worked very hard on it. Thank you for your research and your time again.
Okay, thank you.
Aside from your slip, I have any other slips on item number 10. Anybody else who should be heard that did not sign in? All right, then with that, may I please have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second the motion.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Creedy.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby. Aye. Councilwoman Miller. Aye. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Congratulations, Tom. Job well done. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Yes, we have a proposed local law amending paragraph C of section 86-50 of chapter 86 of the Code of the Town of Hempstead entitled Construction Site Safety Training to correct a typographical error.
Okay. Any member of the board wish to be heard? Do you have any slips on this? Anybody in the public who not signed in on number 11? If not, then please have a motion.
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Creedy. Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby. Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed local law amending Chapter 15 of the Hempstead Town Code entitled Compensation of Town Employees regarding compensation of certain town officers.
Okay, any member of the board wish to be heard? Okay, I do have a slip. Phillips, Township. Morning, Mr. Council. Give your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Fields, Patachi, Franklin Square. Our elected officials in town government have done a terrible job at being transparent, controlling costs, and efficiently using taxpayer money. Therefore, they do not deserve a raise. The job of elected officials is to take money from residents and use it for the benefit of residents. The 2024 budget passed by this town board over a month ago does not even show these salary increases. The town clerk's office continues to waste hundreds of thousands of dollars each year on passport advertising that does not provide comprehensive information to residents. Residents may like this service, but if they knew the cost of holding these passport events exceeds $100 per passport issued, they may not think it's worth it if they knew what it costs. And as soon as Clayton took office in 2020, he more than doubled the posted budget so he could increase town mailings, and all elected officials take advantage of these taxpayer-funded self-promotional mailings. Over the last 4 years, under Supervisor Clayton, spending has gone up 19.6%, or $85 million. The 2022 budget used $20.8 million in reserves, and the 2023 and 2024 budget project the use of $109 million in reserves, and the budget books do not even provide these numbers to inform residents. The town board also did not distribute federal CARES Act funds fairly to all residents. About a third of the residents live in villages, yet the town's villages receive less than 1%. For example, the town put $70 million in the town's reserves, but did not provide a proportionate amount to the town's villages to increase their reserve funds. In addition, independent special districts, which many residents belong to, did not get treated the same as town departments that provide the same service. The town gave its sanitation and water departments substantial CARES funds, but similar amounts were not provided to independent sanitation and water districts within the town. In conclusion, since this town government refuses to be transparent and has done a terrible job of controlling costs and managing how the town spends its money, the elected officials do not deserve a raise. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCutcheon. We don't have any other slips. If anybody else was heard on number 12, did not sign in. Sure, please give your name and address for the record.
My name is Karen Montalbano. I'm a resident of Baldwin, Hamlet. According to what I'm reading, this action will give up to a 14% pay raise, as well as perpetual or forever cost of living adjustment for the board and other employees. Most people don't have that, and I'm sure most people would like it. Recently, I attended an event where mayors, town supervisors, excuse me, county executives, and legislatures were there and represented, but there was nobody from the town of Hempstead that I saw. Many were asked what they did with the COVID money from the federal government, and they gave it directly to small businesses or put it in infrastructure. But the town of Hempstead seems to have put it towards salaries of the town of Hempstead employees. I did not see that investment coming back into our community. I'd like to know where this money is coming from. Will the services to residents be cut? You have always run on keeping our taxes down, not raising them. Are you going to be increasing our taxes to pay for this?
No.
Where is the money going to come from?
The town controller? Where the money's coming from? For item number 12?
The budget for 2024 has $150,000 called contingency. It's put in there for things such as this that weren't anticipated at all when the budget was created.
And that's been in other budgets as well, correct?
It's been in every single budget for time more. So this is a legitimate funding source for that expenditure.
Okay, thank you.
I would think contingency funds would be more for things like emergencies. If we had something that was from the climate, or something like a street that collapsed in Baldwin, or in Lookout, or was it Lido, I don't remember.
There was the Grand Avenue?
Thank you.
That was the Kenner. Okay. Anybody else who's heard? Sure. Morning. Give your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Jacob Uniondale. I just got up to say that I concur with everything Mr. Kukatja said and Mr. Montalbano said. As a resident of Uniondale, an underserved community, you're sitting up here giving yourself raises, but we are being underserved. I should not really, or anybody in Uniondale should be paying taxes. Every time I have to go down and pay my tax bill, I cringe because I do not receive any services. The only services I receive is getting my sanitation, my garbage picked up, and that's about it. So rethink your raises, and you should be reducing our taxes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Anybody else? Okay, if I may have a motion.
I move that the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Supervisor Clayton. Councilman Carini. Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby. Councilman Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Mascarella. Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed increase and improvement of the refuse disposal district in the town of Hempstead.
Okay, and any further orders for this? Any slips on item number 13, any wish to be heard to design? If not, may I please have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Mascarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed increase and improvement of the street lighting district in the town of Hempstead.
Okay, any further orders to be heard? I do not have any slips. Anybody else wish to be heard to design? If not, may I please have a motion?
I move the proposed increase and improvement of the street lighting district and as the board moves to pass.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton. Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller. Councilman Mascarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Clerk, please call the next item.
Proposed increase and improvement of the Levittown Park District.
Okay, any member of the board wish to be heard? I have any slips on item number 15. Anybody else wish to be heard to not sign in? All right, may I please have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second motion.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller. Councilman Mascarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Proposed increase and improvement of the Franklin Square Park District.
Any member of the board wish to be heard? I do not have any slips. Anybody wish to be heard to not sign in? If not, may I have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second. Supervisor Clayton. Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Mascarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Proposed increase and improvement of the Town of Hempstead Park District.
All right, anybody wish to be heard on the town board? I do not have any slips. Anybody wish to be heard on item number 17? That's a slip. If not, may I please have a motion?
Number 17, increase and improvement of the town of Hempstead Park District and as the board to decide.
I second the motion.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Mascarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Proposed increase and improvement of the Oyster Bay Hempstead Joint Community Hall and Swimming Pool District.
Any board member wish to be heard? Any slips on this? Anybody in the public wish to be heard? Not sign in? If not, may I please have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second motion.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller. Councilman Mascarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Yes, we'll call items 19 and 20 together for the East Meadow Water District. Number 19 is a resolution on review and determination of non-significance pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, (SEQR), regarding the increase and improvement of the East Meadow Water District. And the companion item number 20 is a proposed increase and improvement of the East Meadow Water District.
Okay, any member of the board wish to be heard on either item 19 or 20? I do have a slip for this, Chris Jacobs. Mr. Jacobs, why don't you just give me an name and address for the record?
Yes, good morning, Chris Jacobs, UNDL, New York. Meeting number 20, I wanted to ask out at the last meeting, Commissioner Reinhardt said to ask about the allocation for monies for the repair of the water tower by Trumbull Middle School.
Good morning, Supervisor Clayton, Deputy Supervisor Gooseby, members of the town board, Commissioner Reinhardt, Town Manager of Department of Water. What's your specific question regarding that? That item is included in this budget.
Oh, okay, so just a quick question. So the total water tower is in dilapidated condition, it's language in there. So what is the town's proposal for replacing it or having it fixed? I mean, both of the towers are bad, but that one in particular is horrible.
Just like any other rehab that's done to an elevated water tank, the tank can be taken out of service. The existing surface that's on it will be blasted off of it. Any structural repairs inside the tank need to be made. Every time we do them, there's always members inside that need to be repaired. And then the tank will be repainted.
Okay, is it time frame on that?
Is there what?
Timeframe.
It'll be next winter during the off-season.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Jacobs. All right, anybody else wish to be heard? If not, I have a motion on items number 19 and 20.
Can we do those separately?
Separate? Yeah, 19 first, I'm sorry.
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt on 19.
Supervisor Clayton. Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Bluesby. Councilwoman Miller. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Get a motion on number 20.
I move the public hearing be closed and the board approve item 20.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Bluesby. Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call that time.
On number 21, we have a resolution on review and determination of non-significance pursuant to the SEQR regarding the increase and improvement of the Levittown Water District.
Okay, and board members to be heard? Have we slipped on this one? Anybody wish to be heard, please say aye. I have a motion, please.
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt this item.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Bluesby. Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call the next.
We have a proposed increase and improvement of the Levittown Water District.
Any member of the board wish to be heard? Have we slipped on this? Anybody outside in? If not, I believe that one.
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt this item.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Bluesby. Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call next item.
We have a proposed increase and improvement of the Lido Point Lookout Water District.
Any member of the board wish to be heard? Okay, nobody slipped on this item? Anybody else wish to be heard? Outside in, okay. Have a motion?
Move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Bluesby. Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call next item.
Number 24 is a resolution on review and determination of non-significance pursuant to SEQR regarding the increase and improvement of the Roosevelt Field Water District.
All right, any member of the board wish to be heard? All right, anybody slips on item number 24? Anybody else wish to be heard? If not, I believe I have a motion. Oh, come on. How you doing, Mr. Jacobs? Just give that name and address again, thanks.
If Jacob, Uniondale, point of clarification for item number 24, I guess now item 24 and 25 are connected. So what would be the actual procedure they're going to do? Are they going to do the same thing they do at East Meadow, like clean up the towers and everything like that? Improving everything else. Right now, the tower has no paint or anything of that nature. It's basically ISO. And being able to connect to Roosevelt Field, which is a major hub for commercial business and so forth, I'm just wondering when they're going to paint it, when they're going to take care of everything else. And what's the time frame for that? Thank you for point of clarification.
Thanks, Mr. Jacobs.
So the work on the Roosevelt Field tank was actually funded a couple of years ago, but unfortunately, as we discussed in numerous meetings, with the 1-foot oxygen work that we're doing at our wells, we've not been able to take that tank offline yet to do that work. So once we are able to be up and running with our treatment system, we will start taking other tanks out of service at any one.
So when you mean by treatment, you talk about 1-foot oxygen of pollutants per se? And when is the time for it to be painted up and that is state to be asked on this commercial district of Roosevelt Field?
We anticipate the Roosevelt Field tank will probably be done not next off-season, so we're doing the Uniondale one next off-season, it'll be the following off-season.
So 2026, 2027?
It would be 2025, 26, yeah.
Okay, and at that time we'll be painting everything else?
Yes.
Okay, now still, thank you for that, pay attention.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Anybody else wish to be heard on this one? How you doing? Name and address, please.
Hi, Chris Jacob, Uniondale. Quick question. I have to ask a question. The Roosevelt Field, is that the one located near Lowe's on Meadow Brook?
Exactly, yes.
Yes, question I want to know, once that's been painted, what name do you put on it?
That tank has never had a name on it.
On that, so it'll just be empty?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Sure. Hey, you name and address, please?
Yes. My name is Lynn Krug, Wildwood Court, Garden City, New York. I have a concern about the Roosevelt Field wells. I understand that during the summer, especially in the late afternoon hours, those wells are completely due irrigation. My other concern is, I believe the Roosevelt Field wells serve the Covanta plant. And as we know, the Brookhaven landfill is scheduled to close in about 2 years, so all the garbage that we ship to Covanta is going to have to go somewhere. Or Covanta may need to be expanded to increase the number of burners. And that's a concern because, you know, let's face it, if we don't have adequate supply, how are we going to fight fire?
This is regarding the water tower. Can you address the relation to the water tower?
Yeah, very quickly on that. Covanta has their own wells that are not used municipal supply, except in an emergency situation if their wells should go down. But they have their own shallow supply wells there for cooling purposes.
Okay, but you're talking emergency supply. What happens if there's an emergency? Do they draw from Roosevelt Field?
They coordinate with us regularly if they have a problem there. So we know what they're doing. We coordinate based on our demands.
Well, it's like, you know, you always have to have a reserve, whether it's for emergency use. Everyone has a backup. And that's my concern. Those wells are contaminated. That was a report that I read. The wells need to be expanded in order to have a reserve. And look at all the building going on in that area. I mean, you know, there just isn't enough water. I'm really concerned. I mean, we have to protect.
This resolution is dealing with what, John?
This is dealing with adding a cation exchange plant at 3 of those wells to deal with issues in the groundwater flow.
All right.
We've been installing treatment in response to any contamination that exists in that district. Those wells are all being treated for various contaminants.
Well, wasn't the Roosevelt Field well cited in a recent report that there are a number of water districts within the town of Hempstead that have problems? Wasn't that part of the report?
I don't know what report was specifically.
Newsday just had it. It was a state report on the number of wells that are contaminated in the town.
If you'd like to follow up with an email on that, I don't read it then.
Well, I think that's a report worth reading. I'll end it here, but I think this is something that requires immediate attention.
But this is for, again, this hearing is for
a cation exchange plant for some of them, 3 to 5 wells in that district.
So if you'd like to follow up the water commissioner on the other subject, that's great.
I encourage you to get a copy of the report and read it. Thank you.
Yep. Any other residents? Okay. Can I have a motion, please?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Bluesby. Councilwoman Miller. Aye. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
All right. Next hearing, please.
We have a proposed increase and improvement of the Roosevelt Field Water District.
Okay, member of the board wish to bear? Okay. Item 6 on item number 25. Anybody else wish to bear? If not, may I close that motion?
I move the motion.
May I second? Second it?
Supervisor Clayton. Aye. Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Bluesby. Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Okay. And next item?
We have a resolution adopting a secret negative declaration and determination of non-significance in connection with the proposed increase and improvement in the Merit Protection Fire District.
Okay, I did not have any, I didn't remember the board referred on 26, I apologize. I don't have any slips on 26, I had those which should be heard. If not, may I close that motion on item number 26?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
I second the motion.
Supervisor Clayton. Aye. Councilman Carini. Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Bluesby. Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Next hearing?
Proposed increase and improvement of the Merrick Fire Protection Fire District.
Okay, member of the board wish to bear? Have any slips on item number 27? Anybody else wish to be heard? If not, may I please have a motion?
Move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
I second the motion.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Greenie.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby. Councilwoman Miller. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
We've already adjourned item number 28, so I'll next call the next item, which is item number 29.
Yes, we have the application of Baldwin 792 LLC to permit the construction of a new gasoline service station and convenience store with canopy, multiple fuel dispensing stations, and other site improvements in Baldwin.
Okay. Council, if you identify yourself for the record, that's great.
Good morning, Supervisor Clavin, members of the town board, William Vanessa, Shelley D. Tarana, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, here on behalf of the applicant, Baldwin 792 LLC. The applicant is the owner of the premises known as 792 Atlantic Avenue, situated in Baldwin on the southeast corner of Atlantic Avenue and Grand Avenue. The site is currently vacant. It was formerly a bank which has been closed for some over 7 years. I've asked Ms. Hanson to provide the board with a hand-up containing 14 slides, if you will, showing various states of the existing property and then what we are proposing to do, and it also contains some other useful information for the board. In addition, I have already submitted to the town copies of over 80 letters of support from Baldwin residents that have been signed on behalf of the application. I've also provided a copy of a letter from the Baldwin Chamber of Commerce in support of the application. And just this morning, I heard from Tim Doherty. He is counsel to the Baldwin Fire District, whom we provided a copy of the application and the plan to. He had a meeting last night and did not have time to get me a letter this morning. He will be following up with a letter, but he called me to indicate that the commissioners discussed the project and have no objection or concern with the proposed development. As noted, the site is presently vacant. It's the former site of a bank. As you can see from the photos, it's not the greatest looking property at the present time. A lot of asphalt, an old building, and the proposal is a complete redevelopment. My client intends to demolish that building and redevelop the site so that a new 7-Eleven convenience market and gasoline service station can be built and operated on the premises. The new 7-Eleven will replace the 7-Eleven on the northwest corner of the intersection. The site is substantially larger than that one and will provide for much better site circulation and actually provide more parking than is required for the gasoline service station and convenience market use. The bank closed and the property has been vacant for over 7 years. The project will reintroduce a viable and desirable use to the property. The site improvements will not only provide a new, more attractive building than the existing one, but will also provide far greater landscaping, new street trees, new sidewalks, and other aesthetic amenities. My client is also proposing, and you'll see a blow-up of it in the handout that I gave you, to install a landscape monument sign at the corner of the property containing a Welcome to Baldwin Harbor sign. That is just an example of what he can do. He's done this at various other sites on various other developments in the town. What it will actually say and look like, we intend to talk more with the Baldwin Civic Association about it. We have reached out to the Baldwin Civic Association and have had communications with them, providing them with information to address their questions. My client has also reached out to the condominium development directly to the south of this property, and based upon conversations, a meeting that was held on Friday, and then follow-up conversations, we've made some additional accommodations that I'll get into in a moment. This project, the LLC, two of the principals of the LLC One is Keith Pellegrino. He is the owner of the Synergy Fitness Center directly east of this property. He's been a Baldwin businessman for 20 years, been a Baldwin resident. The other principal, or one of the other principals, is Adam Mann. Mr. Mann is a client of mine for over 10 years, and as this board knows, he's done a lot of development in the town of Hempstead. He is a very responsible and accommodating property owner and developer. He landscapes extremely to a high degree, rather, and he keeps his sites looking immaculate. So the site itself, in terms of the redevelopment, it is proposing a new, just under 3,000 square foot convenience market, pretty standard size for 7-Elevens these days. They will also have 4 MPDs or fueling stations under a canopy. The site will contain all of the latest technology for gas and service stations, fiberglass double-walled tanks that are monitored 24 hours for any kind of breach or leakage. It has vapor lock systems on both the pumps and the caps where fuel is pumped into the underground tanks, so that captures vapors from the fueling or the filling of the tanks, and also the fueling of the passenger vehicles, cutting down on fumes and vapor loss. The canopy will have state-of-the-art fire suppression system, so in the event of that triggers immediately in the event of any kind of fire situation. So the site is very different from what gas stations looked like 20 years ago, with single-walled steel tanks that had to be replaced on a regular periodic basis. This is state-of-the-art. In addition to that, the site is a very large site for a gasoline service station and convenience market, almost over 3/4 of an acre. That provides great site circulation to keep all of the activity on site and not on the roads, preventing backups, preventing traffic congestion or issues getting into and out of the site. It also provides more than the required parking, 17 parking spaces with 15 unrequired. And it will significantly increase the landscaping as well. Presently, there's very little bit of landscaping just on the corner. We're increasing the amount of landscaped area by 8,000 square feet. We are proposing, as a result of meetings that were held with the neighbors to the south, we're proposing several accommodations. Those meetings were very helpful in allowing us to know what their concerns were. If you take a look at page 10, you'll see that they are proposing to put 14-foot tall arborvitaes along the southerly property line. That's almost unheard of. Typically, you get 5 or 6 foot arborvitaes. These will be 14 feet tall at the outset. In addition to that, there'll be an 8-foot high sound attenuation wall, very attractive, that will be constructed there. All lighting will be shielded so that no light or glare will emanate onto the residential properties. There'll be security cameras to go along with the security protocols that 7-Eleven now implements. There'll be controlled hours for deliveries and garbage pickup. There was concerns about the possibility of backups or congestion on Grand Avenue. We are proposing striping, not just in front of our curb cut for a do not block the box type of arrangement, but also after discussions with the condo board, we're going to provide a do not block the box striping area in front of their entrance. We have also petitioned the town to make no parking, put in place no parking on the east side of Grand Avenue, from the north side of the condos curb cut to the south side of our curb cut on Grand Avenue, thus removing a potential congestion issue and freeing up traffic moving northbound on that roadway. And we've also offered to provide the Barclays condominiums with a new entry sign as well. So we think that this is a real positive application, not just for my client, but also for the overall community. We have submitted a traffic study to the town that establishes that a tremendous amount of the traffic that will frequent this site is already on the roadways. 7-Elevens and gas stations experience most of their trips as a result of vehicles already on the roads, and certainly a portion of that is already represented by the 7-Eleven that's already existing. So consequently, the pass-by traffic is where most of our traffic, our site entry and exit will come from, and as a result, this is not a destination. You don't typically make a 7-Eleven a destination. You don't make a gas station a destination. It's pass-by traffic, and that's good for the operation of the intersection. Another thing I would note is that the present location of the building, if you take a look at pages 1 and 2 in particular, you'll see that the building is right up on the corner. That definitely hinders sight lines for northbound traffic on Grand Avenue and westbound traffic on Atlantic, so that if there is somebody who runs a light in one way or the other, you can't see them coming until you've actually gotten to the intersection. Now we'll have no blockage, no interference with the corner sight lines. They'll be complete and open views, so that should increase traffic safety and decrease any kind of traffic issues that have occurred at the intersection. We recognize that it's a busy intersection, but this is a commercial site in a commercial intersection. So we feel this is a good use overall for the property, one that will revitalize this site and surrounding areas. By the way, the owner of the Synergy gym next door, there's an old building, most people in Bolton know it as the former dry cleaning building. That building is going to be demolished. It's right and directly east of our property, and in lieu of that will be additional parking for the Synergy Fitness. Some people were asking, well, where right now people are parking in the 7-Eleven or the bank site and using that for the parking for the Synergy where they're going to park. That building in between is going to be demolished, and they'll be parking there to accommodate the needs of people visiting the Synergy Fitness. That's basically the direct overview I have for the board. With me today, in addition to Mr. Mann and Mr. Pellegrino, we have Jason Ferenz from 7-Eleven. If the board would like to have any questions answered regarding operations. We have Zachary Chaplin from Stonefield Engineering, our site engineer, who can speak in greater detail to the layouts and site design. And we have Amanda LaRosa, our traffic expert, also from Stonefield Engineering, who prepared the traffic study. I will not call them up directly, but certainly they're available to the board to answer any questions or in response to public comment. So unless the board has any questions of me, that's our direct presentation. And I'll take a seat while they...
Thank you, Mr. Vanessa. Any of the board members have any questions, Mr. Vanessa?
I have some questions, please. I'd first like to comment that I think it was good business to reach out to the Baldwin Civic Group and the surrounding property owners and neighbors. That's a sign of good business, in my opinion. Will there be an irrigation system installed to maintain the landscaping?
Absolutely.
Okay. And lighting, I see that the property abuts the condo development, so it would be a concern that the lighting does not face or impede upon the residents in the condo unit.
Absolutely. In addition to the 8-foot wall, sound attenuation wall, in addition to the 14-foot arborvitaes that will be planted on that side, the site will, its lighting will be designed, engineered and designed and installed with shielding to make sure that there's no emanation of light or glare onto the residential property. That's pretty simple these days with the light advances, the lighting advances that we have. The photometrics plan will be put together and it will be developed so that 0% of light bleeds onto that residential property.
Okay, thank you. And as far as the trash, I see there is an enclosed dumpster area in the back of the building.
Yes.
So will you give the board assurances that the dumpsters will remain in the enclosure? And can you also, do you know what time the trash would be picked up?
Yes, I can give you assurances that the receptacles will be maintained in the enclosure. They will not be removed and left out. They will always be in the enclosure. When the enclosure is not used, it will be closed and locked. The times, we can put limitations on the times, I believe. Adam, what were the times that we were able to agree to? I believe it's not before 6 a.m. and not after 11 p.m.
Okay, again, because it is so close to the condos that are there, we wouldn't want to impact on their quality of life with the noise for trash pickup and emptying the dumpster.
Yes.
And what would be the hours of operation for the 7-Eleven?
It's a 7-Eleven, so it's going to be open 24/7.
And I just want to confirm that the traffic impact study said there's no negative traffic impact, is that correct?
Yes, and as I indicated, we have Ms. LaRosa here if the board has any specific questions, but yes, the traffic impact study which I've submitted does support the application and indicate that it will have no significant impact on the level of service of the intersection, nor will it create a hazard or congestion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other member of the board answer any questions at this time? Okay. I'm going to ask you to hang out. We have a number of residents who have checked in here, so we're going to start calling them up here. I'll start off with Faith Kenny. I'm just going to say everybody give your name and address when you take the mic. Thank you.
My name is Faith Kenny, and I have lived in the condo behind what was presented today for 20 years. I would like to say that the presentation is wonderful. It's beautiful. It made it appear like we're in agreement to this. We literally live next door. They are building a gas station that will impact our health. Studies have shown petroleum and benzene is carcinogenic. Nobody in this room would put their family members next to that. There is a zoning law that is in place. How many meters a gas station should be built? And today, we should really uphold that. Meeting with the boards, it made it appear like it's so wonderful and everybody would know we are not in agreement, and I would like everybody from our condos to stand up who is opposing this. Please stand up, everybody from the room. And I would like everybody to have an idea who we are. We are 21 units behind the proposed place. We are a 2-story building. They will propose concrete, and how much high? The pollution from benzene we will inhale. So picture us with this. This is our window, and they're building right in the middle, maybe a little beyond. That is gonna affect our health. I am a nurse myself, and please, nobody, it is inhumane to put us in that spot. That spot also has been known to have car accidents, and it is happening constantly. We will be subjected to 24-hour traffic. It will attract, it's a detriment to our health. The noise level, the lighting, just inhaling the fumes. And I hope that you guys will not fail us today. It's inhumane to put us in that process. We literally live here, and they are building in the middle of the aisle. It's that close. I am grateful for the ability to speak here today, and I hope that you will think about how we feel. You will never put your family members next to the gas station. It decreases the value of the property. It's carcinogenic. We only have one life to live. We have to take care of our families. If we don't have our health, we cannot earn money, we cannot support our family. I just want to thank everybody again. Have a good day and God bless.
Thank you, Ms. Kenny. Next I have Jillian Dixon. Thank you, name and address, thank you.
Juliet Dixon, 2907 Grand Avenue, I'm in Barclays condominiums. There were many other people that would have liked to attend this meeting today. However, scheduling the meeting on a Tuesday mid-morning during the holiday season with only a few days' notice excluded a lot of people that had to work. I had to be here. I had to take time off from work. I live immediately adjacent to the proposed gas station, and this directly affects me, my grandchildren, my neighbors, their families, some of which already have major health issues. My feeling on this project is as follows. Vacating and abandoning one corner to occupy the opposing corner is not enhancing that intersection. It's just moving one abandoned building across the street. There's no value add there. But then you also add, okay, maybe we need another gas station. I started doing my research and realized that the Baldwin area has 25 gas stations in close proximity. 1/8 of those reside on Atlantic Avenue, 3 of which are between Grand Boulevard and Milburn. So there's really no need in the community for yet another gas station, especially on Atlantic Avenue in Baldwin. But then I asked, okay, maybe we need a 24-hour station for some reason. So I looked into that and realized one of the 3 gas stations nearby is a 24-hour gas station. And right up the street, when you cross over Marion, is another 7-Eleven gas station combo on Grant Avenue. So there's really no need for another 24-hour gas station in the community. When I researched studies regarding residing in close proximity to gas stations, the results are overwhelmingly negative. There are serious, serious concerns. First and foremost is that they drive down property values, reason being that there are overwhelming reports that cite environmental and health concerns with living within 300 feet of gas stations, mostly cancer-causing emissions, including benzene. Some articles even state there's no safe levels of benzene, not to mention the other cancer-causing carcinogens. And of course, increased traffic, air pollution, ground pollution, even light pollution, as it has to remain lit throughout the night. I could cite these studies from reputable sources like Scientific America, Petroleum, Columbia University, Johns Hopkins Studies, the Journal of Environmental Health, Science and Engineering, etc., etc. We are, for the most part, long-standing citizens of Baldwin. There are expectations that this commercial property that sits next to our property maintain the same integrity of what was there previously, a neighborhood bank. Gas stations are a far cry from a neighborhood bank, which is why we're here, isn't it?
Thank you, Ms. Dixon, we appreciate it. Next I have Maxine Liverpool.
Yes, what I was going to say.
Oh, if you have to go to the mic and give your name and address.
I'm not going to speak.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. John Aniano? John Aniano? Okay. Okay, thanks, I got that. Irina Vladaskia? Okay, good. Jeanette Vaney? Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jeanette Vaney. I live at 2921 Grand Avenue, Baldwin, in the condo development, Barclay Condos. My neighbors who have spoke previously have pretty much said what my concerns are. One of the concerns that hasn't really been spoken about is the amount of traffic. All of those beautiful drawings that we see on the monitor It's impressive. But when you live there, we have a difficult enough time pulling in and out of our complex to get on to Grand Avenue. Just 3 days ago, 3 cars were wiped out, totaled, because we have school buses coming from the school at the end by Baldwin Park. I don't know when they did this traffic survey. Maybe they did it when the school was in session and people were at work and the traffic was controllable. But when you let the schools out and people start coming home from work, the school buses are backed up 5-fold. It takes 2 to 3 lights to be able to cross Atlantic Avenue because of the amount of traffic and, again, school buses. Now, when you have a gas station on the corner and one of their exit and entrances is on Grand Avenue itself, how are we going to get out? And then when they get out, it's only going to compromise the situation even more than it is now. On a selfish note, I have a chronic illness. I am a senior citizen. I intended to live my life out in my condo. I worked for 35 years to purchase this. And now putting something like a gas station right by my home will force me to have to sell my home and relocate because of the dangers of this gasoline. I asked every one of you on the board, would you want this for yourself? Would you want this for your family, your grandchildren, and your neighbors? To listen to slamming doors from
Thank you, Ms. Meany.
sanitary.
Thank you. Next I have Jerry Fuentes. That's okay. Joe Alberti. Oh, Jerry. Oh, sorry. Jerry, you go first. That's what he said. Now I'll take it back. So I apologize. You may be thanks.
Jerry Fuentes from 2918 Grand Avenue, Baldwin. I live across the street where that proposed entrance is at.
Just gonna ask you to turn that mic, just push up a little bit more. Just want to make sure I hear that. There we go.
I literally live across the street where that entrance on Grand Avenue is proposed to be put. Like I said, literally on Tuesday, there was a car accident that wiped out 3 cars at 12 o'clock. And the traffic, like Jeanette said earlier, is incredible. When the school is coming in, me just getting out of my driveway, I gotta wait for somebody nice to let me out of my driveway. Because if I don't, it's like I gotta literally, if I'm lucky, I can make a right hand, make 3 rights, make a left. The gas station, I think everybody here don't have a problem with the 7-Eleven. The problem is with the gas station. Nobody has a problem with the 7-Eleven. It's the gas station. Nobody wants that in their neighborhood. Nobody wants that 24 hours, if even worse. If it was just a gas station, even if it was just a gas station, 24-hour gas station work, nobody wants to hear traffic at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody wants the health issues that come with gas stations. It's just, it looks pretty. It's a pretty, all designs look pretty until it comes to real life. And then a year or 2 from now, when the shrubbery is brown and people are driving in at all times of night, the oil slicks from cars that are leaking gas that are coming in, going down the block, it does nothing for the neighborhood. And like I said, they're literally taking one empty structure, building something, and across the street where the 7-Eleven is now, it could be another empty structure. And there's literally another store across the street from that one that they proposed to make a dairy barn, but it's been empty, nobody buys it. It's not helping the neighborhood. No, it's a bad proposal for everybody that lives there. It's great for the gym owners, because they get more foot traffic, more eyes on their store, but for us that actually have to live here, it's not good at all. I also wondered how they get all these signatures for this proposal. If I live across the street and I didn't see one person come to my house,
That's very true.
not one person came to my house, not one person, maybe from Baldwin, but not from Baldwin Harbor, not from anybody who lives in the vicinity of this proposed gas station.
Just a quick question. Are you on the corner or are you the second house in?
I'm the third house.
Third house. Okay. Thank you very much. Next I have Hector Garcia. How you doing? The name matters, thank you.
Hector Garcia, 2933 Grand Avenue. I'm here as a resident and as the president of the board of Park Place condos at Baldwin Harbor. We have 23 homes with 11 backyards adjacent to and directly affected by this proposal. The majority of our residents are opposed to this project because of quality of life, traffic safety, and decreased property values. And we're unanimous except for one owner that's in dissent. Many of us are here, and I want to submit a petition of some 8 owners that couldn't make it today. I want to highlight a few sections of the town building zone ordinance for gasoline stations that this proposal is in conflict with and in violation of. Number 330 says the legislative intent is to preserve property values. Section 336B, no gas station shall be open closer than 1,000 feet from an existing station. There is a Shell station on Atlantic Avenue and Grand Boulevard, which is about 800 and something feet away. And section 336F, which states no driveway shall be located within 10 feet of an adjoining property line. The existing entrance that's there now on Grand Avenue, it's actually less than 5 feet from our property line. So more needs to be done to address the existing traffic conflicts and frequent accidents at this intersection and on Grand Avenue. Before this application is considered further, we ask that additional mitigation measures be included in the covenants and restrictions for this, before this can, the covenants and restrictions and the concerns that have been raised by the residents have been addressed more further. While we have had discussion in good faith with the proposers, that does not mean that we are in consent. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Next I have Joe Alberta. Joe? I know John Aniano had to go outside to put money in his meter. You're back. I know you're back, John. Just give me your name and address to the record. Thanks.
My name is John Aniano. I live at 638 Lincoln Street in Baldwin Harbor. I'm here at, on late notice basically, because as I heard, this notification just went out to us at least 3 days ago. And I do speak on behalf of a couple of my neighbors who also weren't able to be here. We all realize, it was a very nice presentation, as it was, spoken about before. And the question is it really a desirable use? As it is, there are 3 operating gas stations, as was mentioned, and there's a 4th that's just about ready to open, almost diagonally across the street from this proposed property. And I understand that's going to be a 24-hour gas station as well. So I'm really wondering why the necessity for a 24-hour station. Again, there's also severe traffic problems on Grand Avenue, primarily during the school year. Grand Avenue is backed up for sometimes up to a half hour, with school buses. It's almost impossible to use Grand Avenue to get in and out in a timely fashion and out of the neighborhood. And the intersection, as has been noted, is a dangerous one at that. And what about the what about the undesirables that would possibly come into the neighborhood, due to the fact that there's a 24-hour operating business there. I strongly suggest that there could be a better use. It's not the 7-Eleven per se, it's just the gas station operating, I think, unnecessarily. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, I have Nishan Armour. Thank you.
Good morning. Shauna Moore. I'm at 2918 Grand Avenue. I'm also in the Berkeley condos. I'm definitely not going to repeat everything that my neighbors have said. I agree with them that I'm not in support of the gas station. I just want to point out a couple of things that was mentioned, or just bring to attention that we talk about having people purchasing a lot of these vacant establishments. But they're allowed to have them. They sit there for 7 years, and now they're eyesores, and now they want to build something, as beautiful as this gas station and convenience store. However, for the last 7 years, it's been sitting there deteriorating and becoming that eyesore. So we have to be careful about allowing people to get these properties and not do anything, and have no repercussions for not doing anything. As one of my neighbors said, we'll only have one 7-Eleven move from across the street, from one street to the next, and then we're going to have another vacant property that can become another eyesore. As you mentioned earlier, that cleaners has been there and has not been taken care of for a very long time. That building has been sitting there vacant for almost 11 years. So again, he's had that cleaners for that long of a time, and nothing's there. There's garbage that's built up behind there all the time. If he's allowed to purchase this property but not maintain it and clean it up, but then we have our neighbors who go back there to actually clean it up because that's how close this is to our establishment. So we kind of really need to make sure that we're addressing that concern as well. Allowing for this gas station to come is going to present a brownfield site, right? We're going to have potential for presence of hazardous materials, pollutions, and other contaminants, so we need to be careful about that as well. And if we can also, as a board, receive this traffic study or propose to have a new one done during the hours, because as they've all mentioned before, the traffic is horrendous on Grand Avenue. There's a ton of accidents. We would have wanted to propose the light to be there to help correct it, and that hasn't even corrected. The accidents are still happening, they're still occurring, so there's still stuff to be done, and I don't know that this 24-hour gas station is going to alleviate that. And I think that's it for me.
Thank you very much. Next I have Linda Salomon. Jerry Ferrari. Okay. Clarissa Casanova. Just give me your name and address, thank you.
Good morning, my name is Clarissa Casanova Fuentes. I'm at 2918 Grand Avenue. And again, the notice that some Baldwin residents got was insufficient. We got a mailing from the lawyer's office that came to our house, I believe, November 24th, which meant that there were potentially, at least in my household, 6 business days to come down and see the plans and get ready for this meeting. I don't know who the 80 residents were who signed on to this project, but I live directly across the street from there. Neither my husband nor I received any notice of this. So I find that to be unconscionable. And I have a feeling it was done deliberately. No one wants a gas station there. We bought in Baldwin for the purpose of quiet enjoyment. I don't see how a 24-hour gas station will provide us the quiet enjoyment. As many of my neighbors have mentioned, the traffic on Grand Avenue is bad. We have, I can't even, more than 20 sideswipe cars this year. There is no way that any traffic study took that into account. My neighbors have also mentioned that potentially we will have 5 gas stations in a half-mile radius. I don't understand why that would be necessary. I really would like to ask for an environmental impact study. And for that information to be available, not 6 business days before a hearing during the day. Why not hold the hearing at night when more, now why not allow us to come at night when more of my neighbors would have come to speak as well? We bought in Baldwin because our friends told us, come to Baldwin. We lived in Queens before, when we were first married. Come to Baldwin, you're gonna love it here. And we have. But I honestly don't think that a gas station is gonna increase the love that we have for Baldwin. And so I ask, at the very least, that we the residents be provided with an environmental impact study, and that the town council, perhaps, if anything, move this measure to a future hearing date where we actually have the ability to see all of the information, not just the cherry-picked info. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jason Ferenc?
That's part of our team.
Okay. Okay. Karen Montalbano? Morning, name and address, thank you.
Karen Montalbano, Baldwin, Government Liaison from the Baldwin Civic Association. It's true, Baldwin Civic Association was informed of the plans, but only last week when this meeting had been scheduled. They came to us late, all right? Many other developers have contacted us as they were making plans, as they talked about things, confirmed things with them. We have not had a chance to really sit down and discuss this with the developers because we've only had a chance to email back and forth in the past 5 days, all right? We have major concerns about the traffic. They're trying to put in a left turn lane into an in and out on Grand Avenue, all right? Now, that left turn lane, if you look at it, starts right after you cross over Atlantic Avenue. You're going to have backups all over the place with that. And then, as many people have mentioned, how are you putting a left turn lane right across the street from driveways? Where are these people supposed to go? There's an in and out onto Grand Avenue, all right? Trying to make a turn into that is going to be insane. We also have the additional traffic on Grand Avenue on the west side of Baldwin, okay? That is the major thoroughfare for people to go down to their homes. As they mentioned, it is the Baldwin Middle School's right down into Grand Avenue. You have Baldwin Middle School. Not only do you have buses, but you have children who are walking that way towards the middle school. They may be crossing there. Are we going to have extra protection for them? We already have, as also mentioned, 3 gas stations within 1,000 feet from each other, going east on Atlantic. ECA would love a chance, really wanted to have a chance to sit down and discuss all of these issues and our concerns with the developers. I noticed that they have talked to the fire department, they've talked to the chamber, and they were able to have these people get together and give them letters of support. But they didn't reach out to this Baldwin Civic Association until the last moment. I really think that considering all of these factors, this is something that should be put off for a decision so that these people who live nearby, who have health concerns, who have concerns about the traffic in their area, can have their concerns addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Annie Beckles? Your name and address, thanks.
Again, my name is Annie Beckles. I live at 597, I'm sorry, that's my mother's address. I live in where do I live? 752 Baldwin Street in Baldwin Harbor. As you can see, I'm very nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Okay, I'm a lot of my neighbors express my very sentiments, okay, concerning this construction. And if you take a look at the picture, okay, they show you exactly what they want you to see. They don't give you the full impact of the picture of where it will be. It's right across the street from another drive-through business, right? There's a 7-Eleven adjacent to that, okay? Again, the traffic. And just like my neighbor said, every week you can count on there being a major accident right at that corner. I've lived in Baldwin Harbor for 28 years, so I've seen a lot of things happening and what's going on in the neighborhood. I come down Grand Avenue to get to the commercial districts and where I need to be, so I am stuck in the traffic as they described. One of the things that was mentioned was the environmental impact of this business. They're moving into a location where a bank was. The traffic in and out of that bank was minimal compared to a full-service gas station 24/7. There's a big difference. That's number one. And the other thing is the environmental impact of it. See, there are rivers, crossways, bays, lakes, tributaries all around that area. And my concern is when they dig to do this construction and install those tanks, okay, what are they going down into? And they put those tanks down there, are they going to bump into a tributary of water? It is a major flooding area, and in the past, when we had the major storms, what was it, Sandy? It was a very sad situation. The area flooded really badly. Okay, it flooded so bad that a house caught on fire, and the Baldwin Fire Department could not bring their equipment into the area. Right? So, in terms of emergencies, this is not real. This can't happen. And I wanted to address another little thing before I end, right? There's another 7-Eleven gas station down Grand Avenue, maybe a couple of blocks from a block or so from the Long Island Railroad station. It's a 7-Eleven gas station. Okay?
Gotcha. You can add your commentary with an email. We do a 3-minute time limit.
What? That I don't fight my way to get to that gas station? That is right.
I got a couple more to go through here.
Oh, you shut it off.
Yeah, we have a 3-minute time limit, so you can always supplement with email. No worries. No worries.
That's it. But my.
Well, like I said, we have the 3-minute. You can supplement with either written or an email. Some of that will make it part of the record. We would do it. We got a couple others to go through here. Next, I have Ralph Cerulli.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you. And you did a good job. You weren't nervous at all. Good morning, name and address for the record, please.
Good morning. My name is Ralph Cerulli. I live at 3224 N Street, which is as far away as you can come or be from where this site is. But every day that I come home or every day that I leave, I have to pass this site. I think my neighbors, who seem to be the smartest people in the world in terms of this whole issue, are correct. We have a problem. If this board ever entertained this gas station, I'd ask them to consider several things. Because everything I've wrote here on my iPhone to speak to you about has been addressed. I think it's obvious that if you ever entertained this, you would close that curb cut that goes onto Grand Avenue. Don't have it. Keep the bank curb cut and keep the curb cut over by the dry cleaner. Number two, they politely say that they're going to make parking. As I left my home today, I purposely went right to see how many cars were in the parking lot. it was close to 10. The parking lot that is where the canopied walk-up, or whatever the thing is, had over 36 cars in it. And the rest of the parking lot was full as well. So obviously there are classes or whatever to make this place as popular and as full, this parking lot as full as it is. The only thing that beats it is in the evening. If you come home anytime, let's say 5, 6, 7:30, it's got to be 100 cars filling this entire area. Where are they going to go? It's gracious of them to say they're going to take the building down, but if the building is 5,000 square feet and a parking stall requires 200 square feet, I think if my math's correct, you're only going to get about 25 parking spaces. And in doing it, you're probably going to take away some of the parking spaces that they're already using that are angular parking spaces adjacent to the side of their building. This man has owned this building for many years. Is what's about to happen going to turn into the same thing that we lived with for 7 years? Disrepair, parking lot in disrepair, weeds overgrowing. I think the board deserves a better presentation. And if they're going to approve this, please listen to what we say. This is a main thoroughfare, not only for buses, morning and evening, but also for the highway department during snow emergencies, also for all the events that go on in the park going through the main entrance. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. Next, I have Keith Pellegrino. Name and address, please.
Yes, Keith Pellegrino, 3006 Nolan Place, Baldwin. There's a lot of issues that I will never be able to answer for because I won't, in 3 minutes, it's not going to let me get there. If I can do one at a time, I've been in Baldwin for 35 years, and unfortunately I watch a lot of deterioration. A lot of stores that are empty, a lot of vacant signs, stores that come in and out. And when you look at our entrances into Baldwin, let's talk about Oceanside into Atlantic Avenue. It's depressing. You know, as far as the sites go, the 816 building, which was a dry cleaners, I've sat with that property for years. Problem is, it only owns the property that it sits on, and it only has 4 parking spaces. Every time I've tried with an expert to see what I can do to put something there, he says it's not going to work because we have no parking, we have no way in or out because it's its own property. As far as the 7-Eleven proposal there, for years, have the property 7 years between 2 partnerships. I've approached just about every business possible. TD Bank, Capital One, many restaurants. Restaurants can't afford to be there because restaurants would likely want to be in a rent range of about $8,500. And unfortunately, our taxes are about $8,500 a month. I've gone to Anthony's Coal Fire, I've gone to Chart, I've gone to CVS. We talked to them about maybe developing the whole property. And in every corner we turned, and due diligence was done, we were turned down with every prospect. The only other person who wanted to go was maybe Bola, but they wanted to take down all 3 buildings. Somewhere the entrances into Baldwin have to start looking nice. You know, I get why people won't want it or they do want it or whatever. But somewhere it's got to start somewhere. And right now it's been decades. Every project has been turned down. Every project has been put aside. I come in from Oceanside to Baldwin on Merrick Road. And what do I see? I see vacant stores. I see fences up. Just projects that for some reason aren't going forward. When we're willing to put in the money and the time, I think that has to be taken into consideration. As far as traffic, I lived right there for 35 years. The traffic isn't going to change. It's going to be what it always was. It's not going to change. The accidents that people are talking about, I've been in business for 23 years now. I don't see these accidents. You know, I know that we want to make it worse than what it is, but the truth is, Rush hour is busy. Grand Avenue, Atlantic Avenue, go down Merrick Road. It takes me 45 minutes to get to my daughter's house in Seaford. This is life. This is what we created. I hope the board takes into consideration. We want to beautify this corner. We want when people come into Baldwin, we want them to say, hey, maybe this is a place I'd like to live. They're not going to feel that way with vacant stores and projects that they're working for. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pellegrino. I don't have any other slips. Is there anybody who did not sign in that wishes to be heard? Okay, Mr. Vanessa, before we close up, a couple of questions I do, kind of stuck with me on this one. The traffic study for the area, when was that conducted?
I was going to call up Ms. LaRosa, our traffic expert. Ms. LaRosa has appeared before this board and been qualified as a traffic expert to provide opinion testimony. I would ask that she be permitted to do so today. And she can speak to the traffic study and provide you with an overview of what was performed and what the conclusions are.
Good morning, I'm Amanda LaRosa with Stonefield Engineering. For the record, our office is at 584 Broadway, Suite 310, New York, New York. As you've heard, I'm the traffic engineer for the applicant. My firm did prepare the traffic impact study, which was last revised in September of this year, and our counts were completed in March of this year on a day where school was in session, and we've confirmed that the weather conditions were acceptable. The findings of our study conclude that the gas station is not expected to negatively impact the traffic conditions on the adjacent roadway, and this conclusion is largely attributed to the proposed site being a relocation of the existing store on the northwest corner of the intersections, as well as customers' tendency to visit convenience stores and gas stations that are already along their routes during peak hours. Industry standards pertaining to this type of interaction indicates that more than 50% of patrons to a gasoline and convenience store are already on the road and passing by this location, or only stopping because it's convenient to do so. In addition to assessing the trip volumes, as you heard, we did confirm that there are no negative impacts to the signal at Grand Avenue and Atlantic Avenue. We coordinated with the county and they've agreed with the findings. We've also conducted a queue study along Grand Avenue. As you've heard, there's some congestion on that northbound approach. Our findings did show that the site's driveway location is intermittently blocked, and as a mitigation for this condition, we are proposing a do not block the box in front of the site driveway to encourage efficient access to and from the site. Additionally, as you heard from Mr. Vanesso, the applicant has reached out to the neighbors, similarly hearing their concerns about blockage in front of their driveways, and has agreed to pursue both a no parking along the east side of Grand Avenue as well as a do not block the box in front of the condos driveways.
Question for you. When did you conduct your traffic study? If you give us the timetable there, so we know.
So our counts were conducted in March of 2023. Our study looks at a typical weekday morning time period from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., as well as in the evening from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then within that time frame, we identified the peak hour of the most heavily trafficked time, and that's what our analysis is contingent upon.
Ms. LaRosa, can you speak to the accident record at this intersection?
Yeah, absolutely. We reviewed the accident history, hearing the concerns from the residents, and to start that accident study, we requested 5 years of data from the DOT, so that goes from the middle of 2017 to the middle of 2022, just based on available records, because there's a little lag between logging the accidents from the police department and when the state DOT actually gets those accidents. We're seeing a frequency of just over 1 accident per month, and the important part here is that the severity of the accidents is not very high. We didn't see any fatalities over the span of 7 years. Most collisions were side swipes and rear ends, which are very common at red lights when traffic is starting and stopping, and there's not many options to mitigate it other than removing the traffic signal, which is not desirable here.
I understand that the average number of accidents is about 14 a year.
That's correct. There were 70 collisions in 5 years, which comes out to about 14 per year.
So that's about 1 a month.
Vanessa, the other question I have for you is, a couple of the residents raised the notice.
Yes, the notice. I'm happy to address the notice.
Yeah, if you would.
This board granted the date for this hearing on, I believe, November 19th, I think that's when they scheduled the public hearing. We received the notice shortly thereafter, and then we mailed it out immediately before. The town requires 10 days, we mailed it out in advance of 10 days. Similarly, we posted the property in advance of the requirement. In addition, we included with the notice a letter to all the residents indicating, providing more information than the notice provides, because the notice simply says what the name of the applicant is, what's being proposed where, and when the public hearing is. We provided a letter providing a great deal of information and offering to address questions or concerns. They can contact me, and that they can contact the town to take a look at the records. In addition to that, shortly after that, before the Thanksgiving holiday, I did reach out to the Baldwin Civic Association via Willie Zambrano. You're shaking your head, Ms. Montalbano, but I can assure you that it was before Thanksgiving that I emailed Mr. Zambrano with a copy of the site plan and a detailed explanation of what we were proposing. He got back to me last week. We conversed. I provided him more information. Then he got back to me yesterday. At no time were we asked to meet. But that being said, we have offered from day one, because we know this decision is not going to be made today. We know the zoning board, the town board typically closes the hearing and reserves decision. I've advised Mr. Zambrano, and he has copied other board members on the email, that we're prepared to meet and discuss these things in greater detail, as we told the residents of the condo association as well, condo development as well. So we certainly followed and actually went above and beyond the notice requirement in providing timely notice to the necessary parties and with more information than is required. Now, just addressing some of the other issues other than the traffic, which I think Ms. LaRosa has adequately addressed. The assertion that this is...
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
The assertion that this is next to residential property and it just simply cannot be. If the board looks at page 7, you'll see four other existing 711 GSS sites in the town of Hempstead, all abutting residential property that this town board approved. If the board looks at any number of on page 9 of the convenience store and gasoline service stations within the town of Hempstead, almost all of them are adjacent to residential property. The town board has approved GSS applications adjacent to residential properties on a regular basis. It is commonplace. There have not been health issues, certainly not on the newer sites. The newer sites with their double-walled tanks, with their vapor lock systems, they have addressed those items significantly. And certainly the assertion that this simply cannot happen because it's going to negatively affect the community. This is a commercial site. This is a business X-zone site. Any number of business uses could be put on this site. Some commercial activity is going to take place here. You heard from Mr. Pellegrino. This is not a situation where he has his choice of developers to go on this site. He has tried to redevelop this site, and there has not been interest. If you look at page...
Ma'am, please.
If you look at page 11, Baldwin, Freeport, Atlantic Avenue corridor commercial vacancies. There are 15 vacancies shown just on that sheet. The only way you're going to have revitalization taking place in the Baldwin area is if you approve projects like this. Is it ideal for the residents? Perhaps not. But certainly, the mitigation that my client is prepared to implement is significant to address any impact on the peaceful use and enjoyment of the neighboring property. The high trees, the sound attenuation walls, the light shielding, all of the other things that do not block the box. They are trying to improve this site and this intersection. But it's not their job to fix all the traffic woes associated with this intersection or Atlantic Avenue or Grand Avenue. It's to mitigate and address any impacts that they will create, and they have certainly done that. Now, the assertions that this looks pretty, but it will be that way. I welcome the board to go to any of the sites, and the last page, the last couple of pages show you sites and welcome walls that Mr. Mann has developed. I welcome you to go to any and all of them and take a look at how they're maintained. They are well maintained, well manicured, they are nicely landscaped, and they stay that way. And certainly, all of the, and this board knows full well, all of the mitigation, all of the accommodations that ultimately get provided in association with this application will be made conditions of the approval, and then a declaration of restrictive covenants will be required by the town board to be recorded against the property in the Nassau County Clerk's office to run with the land, so that if 7-Eleven were to get up and leave tomorrow after it was developed, the next property owner, the next occupant is bound by those same requirements. So consequently, there's continuity. But that has not been necessary, because again, if you look at the sites that have been developed by my client, I welcome you to go take a look at any of them and take a look and see, and you'll see just how nicely landscaped, how well maintained the sites are.
Thank you, Mr. Vanessa, we appreciate it. Any member of the board wish to be heard? I think Mr. Vanessa has made a potential motion very, very easy on this. Anybody have a motion?
Yes, Supervisor, in light of all of the items that we need to review, I am making a motion that the board reserve decision on this proposal.
Second from the Deputy Supervisor. May call the roll.
Supervisor Clayton?
Yeah, well, Mr. Vanessa, I do acknowledge you said you understood we were going to adjourn it. Thank you. I do, appreciate your presentation, but as you can see, I think there's work to be done.
Oh, no question, and we expected that, and as I said, we are prepared to continue to meet with the community, meet with the civics, and we're happy to do so.
Thank you.
Yeah. Councilman Carini?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby?
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller?
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Thank you all the residents who came out. And the reserve decision means that the decision's been reserved, nothing's been approved here today, and you should follow up. Absolutely. All right, thank you all for coming out. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have the administrative calendar here. There are items 30 through 89 on that calendar. I also have 2 items of an urgent or emergency nature. The first emergency resolution adopts a secret negative declaration and determination of non-significance in connection with an application for site plan approval for a parcel of land located in East Meadow, New York. And the second emergency resolution approves overall layout site plan submitted by RMB Development Consultants Incorporated on behalf of 1640 Hempstead IG, LLC, in connection with building application 22-8861 for the proposed subdivision and construction of 1-story and 2-story self-storage facilities, including associated site improvements located on the south side of Hempstead Turnpike and 247.36 feet east of Merrick Avenue in East Meadow, Town of Hempstead.
Madam Clerk, what would those be numbered?
Those items will be 90 and 91.
Does any member of the board wish to speak on any items of administrative calendar? Okay. I have a couple of slips on the administrative calendar. We'll start with Felix Percussion. Oh, just a little for him. Mr. Gachi, name and address.
Felix Percussion, Franklin Square. On item number 74, I oppose the appointment of the special referee to conduct the eminent domain hearing on the property at 434 Hempstead Turnpike. This referee will serve no purpose except to waste taxpayer money and provide a guise of legitimacy to the town's illegal actions. The evidence shows this town government has already made up its mind to close the Capri Motel by any means possible and has no interest in following the law. First, the town buildings department declared this property a public nuisance on August 7th, 3 weeks before the public nuisance hearing was held on August 31st. Second, the building department did not give the owners any opportunity to fix the purported violations. And finally, on September 6th, the town board failed to follow their own council's instructions and without any debate unanimously voted to declare this property a public nuisance. Clearly, this special referee is just the town's attempt to legitimize its illegal process. Even the text of this resolution contradicts the results of the town's own building inspections. In January 2022 and 2023, the town's chief of buildings department found no violations, and on May 19th and August 7th, inspections also did not find any violations to indicate this building has deteriorated to the point where it is no longer fit for human habitation as stated in this resolution. Since the town's own records do not indicate the Capri Motel is not fit for human habitation, there is no legitimate reason for this town to vote for this resolution. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Conlon. Next, I have Chris Brown. Name and address, please.
Hi, good afternoon, Supervisor members. Christian Brown, McLaughlin and Stern, 1122 Franklin Avenue, Garden City. I'm appearing on item number 74. As you know, my firm is co-counsel representing the owner of the Capri Motel, 434 Hempstead Turnpike. Thank you for adjourning the earlier hearing today, but I also need to, for the record, I also have to object to the appointment of a special referee. As you may know, under the eminent domain proceedings law, we're required to put any possible objections to the proceedings on the record in order to preserve them in the event that there's litigation surrounding any condemnation. And I would ask the board to take a look at the authority to appoint a special referee. It's not provided for in the eminent domain proceeding law. It's not provided in the town law. It doesn't appear to us to be a proper way for the board to proceed if, in fact, the board wishes to consider the condemnation of this property. So for those reasons, we would object to the appointment of a special referee, and I would ask the board and the town attorney to look at the statute again before proceeding forward with the use of such an officer to conduct the hearing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brown. Next, I have Pearl Jacob.
Pearl Jacobs, Uniondale. I'm encouraged that the town decided to move the eminent domain hearing regarding the Capri Motel to an evening meeting to allow more of the public to attend. Your administration was also considerate enough to notify the West Hempstead community of the special August 31st hearing to declare the Capri Motel a public nuisance. Unfortunately, your administration wasn't as considerate to communities concerned about the town's redistricting process. Community leaders were not given notice of the November 15, 2022 meetings to establish a temporary redistricting commission and call redistricting hearings. Also, Supervisor Clayton contacted the press regarding the Capri Motel hearing and urged residents to attend the special August 31st hearing. But you did not, nor any of the town council members, urge or even personally notify the public to attend the redistricting meetings. In contrast, your administration put out no press release, and Councilwoman Luther refused to even discuss the issue within the community she represented at any of these redistricting hearings. Also, in addition to shutting down the Capri Motel, which is a good thing, but also on the other end of that, where did these displaced residents go? A lot of them had drug issues, psychological issues. Where did they go? I hope they did not go to Uniondale, Roosevelt, Hempstead, and Freeport, where 96% of all homeless shelters and social service shelters are located. So you can shut down these facilities, but you're missing the big part of treatment for these people.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Jacobs. Kara Alvarez.
You do name and address for the record?
Monica Kiley, 95 Huntington Road in Garden City. I wanted to talk about items number 56, 57, and 58. I'd like to point out that in a recent opinion poll conducted by Siena College and Newsday, that 49% of Nassau County residents oppose having a casino in Nassau, and only 42% of Nassau County residents support this idea. I suspect that the real numbers are even more lopsided than this. Everyone I speak to is opposed to the casino unless they are being compensated in some way. It's miraculous that people are waking up to the fact that they can oppose the casino. We've been told since the very beginning by Nassau County and anybody connected with Nassau County that this is a done deal. It's my opinion that media outlets such as Newsday have perpetuated this idea. Now, thankfully, Nassau County residents are waking up to the fact that they actually can oppose the casino. And I was very heartened by the results of that survey. It's been pointed out earlier today that the town of Hempstead sends us a ton of mailings, a lot of public education about things in town of Hempstead and also larger issues like Hochul's housing plan. I've had a ton of mailings on that. But there's been zero public education by the town of Hempstead about the casino issue, and it's huge. I want to know if you cannot openly represent us and oppose the casino yourselves, as most of us do oppose it. If you can't do that, can you educate the public? Can you at least inform us about the process? When will the secret hearings be? Will they be here at the town? Will they be at the county? At least don't keep your own constituents in the dark. Thank you.
Ms. Kelly, in response to your comment, I think it's very fitting that my Chief of Staff, Jared Clifford, addressed exactly what we're doing today and the manner we're doing it in a very open, transparent proceeding and notifying people. That's part of our belief in this process. Jack, why don't you explain to Ms. Kelly exactly what we are undertaking today and what we are committing to?
Sure. So the Sands Corporation, like anybody else who has a lease or owns property, has made an application to the board for a change of zone. The board is obligated, more or less, to hear it and to give it a fair hearing. The first step in that, because it is such a big project, is making an environmental determination. And today, the board has determined, consistent with some of the things that have been said, that the project is likely to have a significant negative environmental impact. It's funny because the word POSDEC sounds like you're saying something positive, but it's just the opposite. You're saying that, no, there's very likely something wrong here. There's very likely something negative, and therefore the burden is on the applicant to show what they're going to do to mitigate that, or if they can. And then the board considers that. So that's the background story. In terms of the next step, there is what they call a scoping session. Now, under secret law, it does not have to be public, but the board has made a determination that we want it to be public, and you can. And so therefore, we've set a session. It will be held both in the morning and in the evening. I don't know the exact times yet. And we anticipate having it at the Marriott Hotel so that there's, in the ballroom, so that there's plenty of room to accommodate everybody. At that time, the applicant will present its proposed scope. When I say scope, that means what do we intend to study, and to what extent do we intend to study it. So, for instance, we know traffic is going to be a major issue, and they have to stay.
Before you continue.
No, Ms. Kelly, I'm going to let him respond first, and then
Okay.
you have a little more.
Okay.
It's okay.
I apologize.
That's okay.
So they will say in their scoping document, yes, we're going to study traffic, we intend to study intersections A through Z, or whatever the intersections are. We will have that reviewed by our engineers. We've hired Nelson and Pope, who are, very well known in this field. And they will come back at some point and after the scoping hearing and say, either that's perfect, an unlikely scenario, or, listen, we get it, we understand what you're saying, but you've missed this item, that item, the other item, and we want you to add those to your scope. Eventually, a scoping document will be finalized. The board will have to say, okay, that's adequate, and at that point, or it's inadequate. And at that point, they're going to start the preparation for submission of what they call a draft environmental impact statement. Now, there are more steps after that, but I think for purposes of today, that's what we've done, and that's what will take place. And there will be public hearings all along the way.
And one of the things that I think residents need to be made aware of, we recognize the scope of this. We recognize the fact that residents want to be included. We recognize they want to be heard. That's why we've told basically the applicant we're not having that hearing here. We're having it in a form that will be available, that will have adequate parking. And we've also made the determination that the meeting, tentatively we expect probably 10 a.m. and then 6 p.m. Why? To give the ability for people to attend the hearing, both day and night. In addition to that, and I'd like the town attorney to also inform how many entities will be informing today about this taking place.
Almost 50.
Almost 50. So, I think we can tell people that we're going to do this in a manner that they're going to know. We're going to let residents know. But, you just don't send out, something that isn't informing them. Well, now we're informing residents. And today was the first step. And we invite you, and we invite any of the neighbors throughout the town of Hempstead to come on down for that initial date hearing, and come at day. And if you can't come at the day, you come at night. That's the purpose of it. And that's the step that the town's taking. And you know what? And I appreciate your presentation, Jack. I thought it was very, very thorough on that. So did you have a follow-up comment or question?
I do. It's a complicated process and a complicated issue, so although I spoke about mailings, we would really spend a ton of money on mailings if we were going to do that. Can there be a separate spot on the Town of Hempstead website to give information and give notice of hearings so that people don't have to search for the information, maybe something on your homepage?
We are actually going to create a link. I don't know if it's been done yet, but we were working on it late last week. We're going to create a link on the homepage that will send you to a whole separate page with respect to the casino resort issue.
Yeah, like I said,
all the documents, I'm sorry.
No, please, Jack.
All the documents will be up there. Everything that we receive will be posted up there.
Yeah, again, residents have given some very thoughtful recommendations, and we've tried to accommodate, and that was one of them. And just like I said, people have talked about the meeting location, and we recognize that sometimes the parking would be difficult here at Town Hall. A couple of residents had to go and throw the meters, and I'm sure the village is going to be a little upset. They might not get all the parking meter that day. But again, we look forward to seeing it at the meeting. We look forward to seeing residents throughout the town, throughout the region, and who knows where else for the initial meeting. Let it be day or night when you show up.
Was there any other site considered besides the Marriott? It's kind of like enemy turf to me.
Well, the problem with location was we tried to be very, very diplomatic in saying, you know what, we wanted to appear in more of a neutral location, and we felt that was the neutral location. That is the location potentially of it. That is a location that can provide ample parking. That's a location that there isn't any litigation of a potential host. A long time ago, there was a hearing, and it was held at a university. We're trying to avoid any of that, and then we really felt that that was the proper location for it. And like I said, and I think the venue will be size enough that if there's a handful of people, there's a handful of people. If it's crowded, you're going to be able to park there, and you're going to be able to go in there. And we really, you know, we kind of had a talk about the different locations throughout the town, and really that kind of came into, there's your location. We thought that was the one that would fit the bill, right, Jack?
Yes, and I should point out that the town attorney can certainly back me up on this, and as you know, John has been working with me hand in glove. The Marriott is not part of the application, even though I believe that the applicants have some kind of option on it or something. It is not.
I believe the two leases were combined into one lease.
I don't think that has happened yet.
False, okay.
They have a right to do that down the road, but at the moment, it's not something that they have. Or every location that we thought of that would be big enough has some kind of potential issue about, you know, being biased one way or the other. We tried to find this as the best neutral location. There's not a big enough ballroom at the Capri Motor Inn.
On that note, thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Very well done, Jack. Well done. I don't have any other slips on the administrative count. Is there anybody that did not sign it that would like to be heard? Sure, if you come on back, Mr. Jacobs. Mr. Jacobs, just give me your name and address, that'd be great.
Hey, B. Jacob, Uniondale. I'd like to speak on item number 30, first clarification of location of the two properties, Uniondale. On the emergency application on 90 and 91, I noticed that in common practice that sometime I attend these meetings, that these applications be added to the agenda. It has not been posted on the website so people can be through it and understand it.
Okay.
That tend to be an issue. And also,
what was the one you had on number 30? What do you want to answer?
the location, the two houses and whatever properties in Uniondale.
Okay.
And 9091, the same thing, you know, square footage of the storage facility.
Buildings? Freddie? Danny? Your legs? Danny? If you, stop, he's looking up, I feel bad. Freddie's quicker. All right. Freddie, if you identify yourself, I appreciate it.
Supervisor, Deputy Supervisor, Board members, Fred Jarlett, Building Department 10 of Hempstead. You'd like the two addresses in Uniondale, and they are 1312 Cambria Street in Uniondale, and also 899 Jerusalem Avenue in Uniondale.
So they're both private houses or they're commercial buildings?
No, one is a commercial building, is an abandoned and open building. That was the former fire marshal building, which was open and deemed an emergency and boarded up. And the other is a private residence.
Okay.
And on 9091 for the square footage that the property could be in East Meadow?
For 9091 square footage?
Yeah, it was an emergency thing, just not just to go ahead. The town clerk spoke about it.
Danny, Deputy Commissioner Building Department. On items 90 and 91, that is a typical storage unit. These are drive-up units, so it's going to be more of a modular type setup than a conventional building that you would have for storage. So to give you an actual square footage, imagine a shipping container next to each other in a row. That's basically what this particular site is going to be looking like.
But how tall would these, sir?
Typical shipping container, 10 foot high, and they're one level and two levels, so you're looking at 20 plus feet in height.
So about 3 levels?
On the two level, on the one level, roughly 10 feet in height.
So about 3 levels tall, 2 levels tall?
No, it's not going to be 3, it's proposed 1 and 2 at this point.
And also, I just have a question for town attorney on Mr. Jack, the chief of staff. Being that you propose this thing for item 30, 56, 57, 58 at the Marion, I know some past practices that when notices come out, that the local resident of Uniondale tend not to be either, if they do get there, they have to stand in the back or not see in the front, and it be flooded by, and I'm a union person for over 30 some odd years, but they have nothing against the union. But it tend to get a lot of people from outside the union that handle it.
Mr. Jacobs, it's, you know, I can't, you know, if somebody gets there and camps out at, 6 in the morning,
what I'm
you
saying,
can't do it.
sir. What I'm saying, sir, it's just point of clarification, because, you're that's part of your law, you know how to deal with it.
I sit in the back, so that's what I like to do. Ask my kids to sit there for the concert last night, I was in the back row, that's how I like to sit. When I was in law school, I sat in the back row, did the crossword puzzle, it's amazing, I passed the bar.
No. You know that you're smart, okay?
I'm just telling you, listen, we made it accommodating, but where, you know, residents can come, anybody comes in, they take the seats. You know, I've been at this, and some residents get in the front. I get what you're saying, sometimes other entities get in the front. You know, it's first come, first served at the forum, but if someone speaks and they're done and they go to the back, we hope they accommodate.
Mr. Clayton, the lawyer for the town of Hempstead, I understand what you're saying, Mr. Clayton, Supervisor Clayton, Deputy Supervisor Gooseby, but here's the thing. When you have this meeting and it's voted by union people and they supposed to represent the people union there, I think that's really a disservice. Because if you understand when things are supposed to be done publicly, when everyone has the chance to speak, especially an area that's directly affected, I think the residents should at least have a chance to be heard and be spoken about.
Mr. Jacobs, just to interject, you will. It's not like we're saying that. In fact, to the contrary, we're trying to make sure that we're accommodating that everybody is heard in the process. That's why we're doing it day and night. Just because somebody sits in the front row, big deal. You know, the voice of a resident matters. And that's why we actually ask for residents' addresses too. Because we like to know the difference of somebody who lives in the town compared to somebody who doesn't live in the town.
When I attended a meeting at Hempstead University, and also when I attended at county, I have a different experience from that, what you just now said, Mr. Clayton. Hopefully they will have that common practice that it will actually be done. Because I know that everybody before this, the ones not in their backyard, can be directly affected. Especially now, I was hearing that they may have a special district for this, even if it does go through, which only God knows for sure, that they may not consider part of it. I mean, once you allow the town to allegedly allow them to create a special district for them, there's so many different issues that hopefully will be addressed at this meeting. And like the lady said before so eloquently, I hope they do their due diligence to make sure that everybody get a timely notice going to be there, both the AM and PM meeting.
Okay. You got it, Mr. Jacobs. Thanks. Appreciate it, as always. Anybody else who knows it? Yeah. Mr. Jacobs. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Supervisor Clayton. How are you?
Good.
That's good. Basically, to piggyback off of what everybody was talking about, item 56 and 57 and 58, I know being from Uniondale, I know that many issues, it's been labeled disadvantaged community by the DEC. Part of the issues, we're trying the desert, we have waste management crisis here on Long Island, and I actually echo the sentiments of the Baltimore residents who came to oppose that gas station, because basically the sand project is the same thing as the gas project, except 1,000 times worse. So everything they said, I can concur. We have an interactive road network, but also I just want to talk, and actually personally, what method besides on the website is the town still going to use to communicate to residents about these meetings?
We're going to be talking about any different. It could be potentially mail, and it could be emails.
Oh, good. So I'll be able to see it in your £100 letter?
Hey, you never know. We'll see.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, that'd be a great thing.
I'm glad you read it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We tried to have a little fun with it, with a good little joke at the end.
I like that. So like you always say, take that advisement, I want that.
There you go.
And also, the capacity issues, like, you know, they said basically, like, with the county meetings I went to, you know, overwhelmed people, they didn't check at the door as they should have, because, you know, a lot of residents didn't even live in Nassau County. I think that should be, but that's all things to take into consideration. So, hopefully I'll be seeing it in the mailing, because like I said, there's a lot of people I know.
But listen, you can't say to somebody, you don't live in the town, you can't speak. But if you notice, that's why I say to people at the meeting, you know, can you give your address? Because it's important for residents to know, because you've been through a lot of the public hearings, and maybe, you know, somebody will be like, hey, I'm from Westchester, New York, and you're sort of like, wow, you're down here talking about this thing, you know, happening in Valley Stream. That's why we ask for it, and similar, you know, we'll be asking at those meetings as well.
Good, I'm glad you said that, because what I'm advocating for is that the residents have the same opportunity that the other insiders know, that they're able to attend the meetings out of the day, the night one, is on their fair opportunity to show up, it's on their choice, but just give them the fair opportunity to be able to do that.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Jacobs. Nice seeing you.
Take care.
Anybody else wish to be heard? All right. I have a follow-up. Oh, yeah, no follow-up, Ms. Conley, I'm sorry, it's one time only, that's it. We'll stick around after, you can talk to Jack if you got a follow-up after, all right?
I did, no, it's about residency. Well, I did sign up to speak twice.
It doesn't work, you only get to speak once, I'm sorry. But you can speak at, by the way, we have the public comment section after, you can talk after, you can talk in the public section, there you go. Then I have a motion on the administrative calendar. Seconded by? Dennis done? Second. All right.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Green. Aye. Councilman Dunn. Aye. Deputy Supervisor Gooseby. Aye. Councilwoman Miller. Aye. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Pellegrini.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby. Councilwoman Miller. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Okay, now the formal program is done. The town will remain to listen to the comments of residents. We have a couple of residents that signed in, and we'll start off with our very own Felix Ocasio. Good afternoon, name and address.
Felix McCutcheon, Franklin Square. The eminent domain procedure, Chapter 73, Article 2, titled Conduct of the Public Hearing says, at the public hearing, the condemner shall outline the purpose, proposed location, or alternate location of the public project and any other information it considers pertinent, including maps and property descriptions of the property to be acquired and adjacent parcels. So far, this town has not proposed any specific project to replace the Capri Motel, nor has it indicated what will it cost the taxpayers. Currently, the town is involved in 3 court cases related to this property. If history is any guide, these cases will be in the court for many years, and the cost to the town will be hundreds of thousands of dollars. If the town votes to take this property by eminent domain, it will mean even more litigation. Based on the information provided, the eminent domain hearing of January 30th will essentially be a repeat of the August 31st hearing with the same inaccurate evidence was used to declare the Capri Motel a public nuisance. Will be rehashed to justify the taking of the property by eminent domain. To be in compliance with the open meetings and eminent domain laws, the town needs to provide a legitimate justification for the taking of this property, including the public project it is proposing prior to the January 30th hearing. For example, the town's FOIL response for all complaints that would be considered at the eminent domain hearing did not contain any resident complaints. Also, the police records provided show only 194 responses, not the 597 stated at the public hearing of August 31st, and less than half are alleged crimes. The town should not be able to take personal property by allegations alone. Whatever the truth is, needs to be provided comprehensively and accurately prior to this hearing to be in compliance with the law. If the town-appointed referee does not insist on this minimal amount of information before the proceeding, this will demonstrate he is either not qualified or biased and should be fired. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Country. Next item, Pro Taker. Thank you, name and address, please.
Project of Uniondale. Listen, I have the environmental impact proposal in front of me. It's daunting. It's a lot of concerning issues for our environment here in Nassau County in respect to the proposed casino. There's an abundance of environmental issues concerning and pertaining to air, water, traffic, noise, etc. regarding this proposed casino project. Traffic congestion is a major issue in Nassau County currently. And of course, again, I sound like a broken record, but I'm going to say it again. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation has identified Uniondale, Roosevelt, Hempstead, and Newcastle as disadvantaged communities that have been adversely affected by air pollution, primarily as a result of vehicle emissions. Uniondale's asthma rates among our youth, ages infants to 17 years old, is 17%, substantially higher than that of majority communities in Nassau County. Our roadways do not permit commercial vehicles. The increase in bus traffic, truck traffic, commercial vehicles would inundate our roadways within 10 miles in radius of this proposed casino. Our secondary roadways, our residential roadways will be receiving and getting increased commercial vehicle traffic. We would hope that you would take all this into consideration. The report definitely states all of these concerns that need to be addressed. I would doubt that these concerns would be able to be mitigated in time to go forward with this casino project. Going forward with this project would definitely be disadvantaged not only to the host community of Uniondale, but as to the other surrounding communities of Uniondale, not only Uniondale, but the other surrounding communities within a 10-mile radius. It would be disadvantage to our way of life. It would hurt our environment, our water, our sole source aquifer. We have a lot of concerns, and we would definitely hope that this would be addressed. Moving forward with a project of this magnitude, inclusive of these environmental issues and these concerns, would be none other than environmental injustice to our communities. Now, getting back to these open meetings, I would hope that these open meetings will be fair, and they will be fair to the residents that come to speak on their communities where they live. The legislative meetings it was horrible because you had people, my husband had an intoxicated man with a sign sitting next to him at a legislative meeting, okay? So before you have these meetings, you should have these people vetted at the door to make sure they're Nassau County residents.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Jacobs, we appreciate it. Next, I have Karen Montalbanos. Okay. Next, Ms. Cadley again. Your name and address again, thank you.
Monica Kiley, 95 Huntington Road, Garden City, New York. I want to follow up about the residency issue. I realize they're public hearings, they're open to the public, that's great. But every time I get up to speak here or at Nassau County hearings, I'm asked where I live. And I noticed at the Nassau County hearings that anybody who worked for a union got up and stated the union that they worked for. So they can live in Ronkonkoma, but they get to speak at the Nassau County hearing, and it's assumed that they're a resident too, but they're not. They're just hoping to get a job, a construction job. So I also noticed at the Nassau County hearings that when former New York Governor Patterson got up to speak, he was introduced as former Governor Patterson, and his role as a salaried executive, paid executive of the LV Sands Corporation was downplayed. And it just gives a false impression, and I hope that our Town of Hempstead meetings are conducted in a different manner, and that residents who actually live in Nassau County are acknowledged as such, and that people who live outside the county are identified as living outside the county, and that people who are paid and compensated by the Sands Corporation will be identified as such. Okay, thanks.
That's what we ask for the residency, and when somebody gets a residency as a union hall, okay, we take note of that, and we also take notice of when a resident says they live in Uniondale, Levittown. So that's why I like to ask the question, because it's always important for us to know. Next, I have Lynn Crook. Good afternoon. Please give me your name and address for the record.
I'm sorry.
Hi, name and address for the record.
Yeah, my name is Lynn Krug, as in the champagne. Krug, I don't know where that comes from, Mr. Clayton. But anyway.
A lot of people call me Calvin, a lot of people call me Clavin, so I apologize. I say it all the time. But I don't try to say your name right. It's not meant to offend, so I apologize.
That's okay. The reason I'm here, I want to give you a background. I worked for Consolidated Edison Company of New York for 44 years. I was in charge of the conflict of interest survey and business ethics and the evaluation of submitted forms. So when I saw the report in Newsday that your ethics forms were not submitted on time, I kind of took notice. I don't know how you collect your forms. We had an automated process that I controlled. I surveyed 13,000 employees every year. We evaluated all the responses, anything that was questionable. I worked in conjunction with the Vice President and General Auditor of Con Ed, and we took care of business. I think today, posting forms late really doesn't help your transparency. And it also doesn't enable you to keep track of what's going on. We also required employees to update a filed form anytime their information changed. And I think this is critical now that the SANS is influencing people. I think it's important to have an automated system to control this. It's very, very important. Back in 2017, Aaron King, Sweeney, stated, as far as I'm concerned, the more transparency, the better. The public has a right to know about any potential conflicts of interest. So I think this is a very important issue, and it's even in your town code. You know, you're supposed to disclose your forms, and they're due for many town employees and officials by May 15th. And they cover the previous year. I get it, the form is you're doing it as real time. It happens now, this is what I'm reporting. But I also think a requirement should be added that anytime the information changes, whether it's removed or updated, a new form goes out. That way, we won't be reading about these violations in Newsday. And I think you guys can do a better job with that. I just think if you do the right thing and you be transparent and you follow the law, there's not going to be a problem. That's what I'm saying. Ethics is important. And, you know, one other thing that has me very concerned, that if this casino project...
Okay, thank you very, very much. You can always follow up with an email. We appreciate you coming down. I don't have any of the slips for the public comment section. Anybody did not sign in, wishes to be heard? If not, then I wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy Kwanzaa, and a blessed New Year to everyone and their families. God bless, and thank you, and a Happy Hanukkah. Thank you very much for correcting that as well. Thank you all for coming. And Friday, if you'd like to join us at our holiday lighting ceremony in the gazebo, the Deputy Supervisor, or the Gooseby Gazebo, Felix Mercati, please join us. Thank you all.